you guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca and welcome to a third trimester pregnancy update. And honestly, there probably won't be many more of these, so I'm gonna fill you guys in on what has happened since my last pregnancy update, and then yeah, we'll see if we have many more of these. All right, so this is my 32-week update. I'm currently like 32 and a half weeks or something like that when I film this, but I think my last one I did might have been around 20 weeks. Like I think it was a while ago. And I just wanted to kind of update and share as we get so much closer to baby watch time, which is so crazy. Before we get into it, be sure to head over to my Instagram. It's always linked down below. Follow me over there. You can also follow me on TikTok, all of that fun stuff. But let's get into this update. All right, so I feel like my last update was a long time ago and I really don't remember, but I'm gonna just try to pick up somewhere around where I left off. So basically, symptom-wise, everything really is the same. I have really chill, easy pregnancies. I'm one of those people, I think, where like my body just does its thing and it's all good. I would definitely say that the only thing that has really bothered me in this pregnancy is the SPD pain. I mentioned that before, but definitely still having a lot of pain. It's more on my left side than anything, but just dealing with it. Basically all that really means for me is I haven't been quite as active as I'd like to be, outside of the fact that I'm chasing a 1-year-old all day, but that's really the main way that it affects me, which kind of sucks, but I know that this is just a short period of life, and then when the baby gets here, we can get back to a normal routine eventually where I should be feeling a lot better in that area. I really don't have other symptoms though. I still have a lot of Braxton Hicks. I think I mentioned that in my last video as well because they started very early with this pregnancy, but I definitely have a lot of them all the time, mainly at night, of course. And the only thing that worries me with that is with Hayes, I really didn't know that I was in early labor because my regular contractions are not very different from Braxton Hicks, to be honest. And they're really not any different from them for like until I'm pretty far into active labor. So that's the only thing that I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm gonna feel when it changes or not. But we'll see. Not too much has happened though. Let's see, I just had my 32-week appointment though, so that's big. And I don't think I've updated since my glucose test actually. At 28 weeks, I had my glucose test. I'll cut this out if I mentioned it in my last one, but I really can't remember. I am not diabetic, which is good. I was worried about that just because I have a really extensive family history, so I know that I'm someone who is very sensitive to becoming diabetic very easily, but I passed that. All of that looked good. And then at my 32-week appointment, which I had this past week, I actually had an ultrasound, which I have not had since 20 weeks, so that is awesome. We didn't end up doing like an HD one this time around, so I didn't have one in between. So that was fun though. She was measuring around 4 pounds, 11 ounces. And I'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so she actually was measuring based on the ultrasound like a whole week ahead, but my stomach is measuring to 32 weeks, but she's measuring like 33 weeks. So like I have no idea how that is gonna end up. But speaking of her estimated weight right now, it definitely makes me nervous on if she'll end up being a bigger baby, just because that is a really large part of my birth plan, I guess. It really is gonna depend on baby size. So the main thing we have to update here is on my birth plan, I guess. I talked to my new OB and we talked last time, then we talked at this other appointment, and the plan that we came up with is if I go into labor on my own, like I did with Hayes, I went into labor with him at 37 weeks and he was 6 pounds, 12 ounces. So our idea is that if I naturally go into labor again between 37 and 38 weeks, like somewhere within that week there, then I will definitely be trying to have another natural birth. And we will just hope that I don't face the complications I had with Hayes. And if I start to have those complications, we probably would have a C-section, just because my body can't undergo the same trauma that it had with Hayes again. But otherwise, we're gonna have a scheduled C-section for, I think she said she wants to do 38 weeks and 6 days. I think that's the earliest they can do it. And obviously we'd want to schedule it the earliest they can do it, because otherwise there's a good chance I'll go into labor anyway, just based on the fact that with Hayes, I went in at 37 weeks. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, now we have a plan, but we also still have no idea what's gonna happen. But we know that head size is likely a really big factor in everything. So I'm definitely hoping that she doesn't end up being a big baby, or that I at least go into labor when she's still a similar size to Hayes, because that's when they're more optimistic that I'll have a natural birth and avoid some of the complications we had last time. Otherwise, we will have a scheduled C-section. So I am going to kind of prep for both. I've been prepping this entire time for a natural delivery, and now I kind of need to shift gears a little bit and start looking into a little bit of C-section prep, just in case that is what ends up happening. I'll probably wait until closer to like 36, 37 weeks to really get anything for like C-section recovery, just because that'll be when I'm kind of in the danger zone of having one. But yeah, so that's kind of something that I'll just have to make sure I make note to like look into and prep for a little bit more, just because I didn't have one before and we really have no idea if I'm gonna have one this time. But other than that, that really is about all I have to update on. Everything's been super chill and easy, and honestly kind of boring, nothing crazy going on. But yeah, the main thing is that we have a birth plan now, and I hopefully will have at least one more pregnancy update. Maybe I'll be able to update you guys at the very end of pregnancy and really be able to see what's going on. But otherwise, that is going to be it for this pregnancy update. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys next time.